Hello everybody, you join me just east of Bradford and it's time to talk about stations in Nimby Tutorials Part 3. Now, the Station tab can be found below the Branches tab, and this is the only tab we're going to be using today. Depots are pretty much the same thing, I will cover that very shortly. But when you get into the Stations tab, you have many things that you can toggle. First thing is double track mode, which is pretty much the same as the track building, except for the fact that it will only ever build a double track station, but you can build single, double track stations, etc., and parent them together. Parenting them is a good, very good idea. I'm not going to go in depth about parenting because it's quite confusing, but the basics are covered in part 2. But yes, obviously the first thing that's toggleable is double single track. I'm just going to get a playing area, which is like probably plain. Let's go for Clapham Junction because there's lots of area. So if we use just a single track station with none toggled, it's we'll use main ground like that.
Ups and downs, just like every different season, yo. Sometimes I'm high, other times I'm barely breathing, though. I always gotta fight and hide from.
Now this checked area, or this striped area, is where if I put another station next to it, it'll stay as the same station. The second that leaves, it's regarded as two separate stations. Now next thing I will talk about is this line around the station. When you're in any of the build mode, any of the tracks, sort of this bit, is the area that the station serves, and the amount of people in that area down here is 81,000. Now before I get into anything else, if you click onto the station using the Move, Delete and Edit Tracks tool, you then get the option to change the station name, so you can use London Borough of Wandsworth, or CrossFit Shapesmith, or you can use your automatic name. You can also decrease the area that the station serves. Wouldn't necessarily recommend that. And it can also take you directly to the station. And done. If you enter it in the Info tab, rather than on Tracks, you will... Oh, no, that's not what I want. We're going to come to Clapham Junction Station again. So yes, make sure you're in for the Info tab. Now I don't think you can access this unless you've got train stations, that sort of thing. This brings you a nice handy info tab for the station, so you can categorise all the people at the station. These are all the people at the station. So this is their satisfaction, whether they're happy, sad, being overpaid. Yes, James, once again, I'm looking at you. Overpaid. It also tells you, so you can group it by number of people going to that station. So I've got 24 for Victoria, and I've only got 1 for Gillingham. Or I can group it the opposite way around, so I've got one passenger at the top and then 6 at the bottom, or whatever it was, 24. I can also do it in alphabetical destination from top or bottom, how long they've been on this leg of the journey, so this part of the journey, or total journey. So 5 hours 12 minutes, and they're going down Hounslow. We also have paid, how much they've paid. So obviously at the top we've got the most paid, a lot of unhappy people here. Least paid is probably going to be the happiest people. And then you can group them by satisfaction. Next tab is platforms. Still doesn't want to come up. There we go. And this tells you which lines come into which platforms. And if there are any of those trains due in. So this train, it's telling me, is arriving in 46 seconds into platform D, which is this platform here. Now this is not the Clapham Junction that you saw in the thumbnail. It is the same Clapham Junction. It has been remodelled since this save. This is just an old save that I have. We also have a 444 that is coming into platform Y. It's quite a big distance away though. Coming up into platform Y, which is this one. And that's just nice to see. Here you've got what the last interval was, so the distance between the last two trains, and then this is how long it has been since the last train. This is the route, platform, colour of the route, that sort of thing. This is the accounting for the station. You can also access this up here by selecting station and then your preferred thing. So money total, Clapham Junction should be 34,000. So if I look at 34,000, Clapham Junction, boom. It's just a bit easier to find it this way. We can also only look at day and lifetime here. Or can also look at previous days as to how well we did. Very nice on there. But anyway, we're going to go back to the new save because we're going to be looking at different types of platforms now. Let's go. Okay, welcome back. We are now going to be looking at the different types of platforms. So I'm going to be grouping all the single track platforms and the double track platforms. So we've got just a single platform with nothing. We're now going to do a single curved platform, which looks the same, but when we build it out, that one stays where it is. Again, build it out, that one stays where it is. This one, the platform extends, and here as well. Now that will be easier to see when we add a base to the platform. So this one is curved, and this one is straight. So if I select this curved platform, the base extends to do a curve. Whereas I extend this platform down to there. I did not mean to connect them. Control Z to undo your last move as well. The platform itself does not move. And then the one that I would recommend using if you're not overly familiar with scratch building, which will be the next video, I would recommend using these stations. You can have them in double and single, curved and non-curved. That wasn't meant to be a single, but oh well, you get the point. And these are just nice starter stations with buildings already implemented. So that's a nice curved one, that's a nice uncurved one, that's a nice single curved one. Now one thing I will point out is if you try to build double track on a single bit of track, like here, say, it will just add a second track in when you build it. But yes, I'm just going to delete all that. What I would recommend is using curved track, using both the auto-appended floors and ceilings and base, because it looks pretty nice, and then you can also control the curve. Obviously if it's like a perfectly straight station, I would use a straight station, or if you wanted to scratch build stations, which I will cover next episode, I would just use curved or not curved at all for the station itself. But yes, one thing you should bear in mind is, say I'm building a track through here, that's not the best base through here, and I want to put a station in, I can't build the station off of the track. It looks like it's on the track, but it isn't, so you need to say drag the track back, or just put in the stations and then connect the track up between them. Yeah, you've got to connect the track up to the stations pretty much. It doesn't like to do it the other way. Some other tools, you can also append direction signals, and if I click this, it'll just put them in the other direction. Now that is good if you want to very much keep them single track directions, but I wouldn't recommend necessarily doing that at all stations. I recommend doing it at ones that you can guarantee that you're not going in future terminating platforms, that sort of thing, or you just want to be able to be able to define them a bit clearly, because actually I'll get to, no, I'm not going to say that because I'll get to it later. You can also append scissor intersections, which are automatic X junctions, but the way that you build the stations using this isn't particularly nice, I'd say, and I wouldn't recommend using them. I just recommend using the hack that I put in episode 2 instead. It's much easier and nicer. And this is also already auto-appended signals on here as well, which you don't necessarily want as where they are. Once again, you can have them in the opposite direction as well. So now if you look, signals coming in, other way around. Nice. But yes, that's all there is really to cover for stations. Obviously, if you come into the station as well, it will tell you the amount of people it can hold. I think for standard 2-platform station it is 200, and then bigger than that it can get up something up to like 8,000, 10,000, that sort of thing. But yes, thank you for watching this video, and I will see you in the next video. Goodbye.